Welcome to the Rimworld mod rundown. We'll be taking a quick look at what you can expect to see from vanilla Persona Weapons Expanded. For starters, you'll need to own the Royalty DLC and download the additional workshop content, Vanilla Expanded Framework, and Harmony. A short and sweet mod to cover today which ties in perfectly with the other recommendations I've made recently. If you're enjoying Factions Expanded Empire and received your Races Expanded High Mate upon reaching the Baron rank, you could have also earned yourself a personalised weapon too. Persona Weapons Expanded is almost purely a cosmetic mod. It adds a unique customization UI for Persona Mono Swords, Plasma Swords, Zeus Hammers, and if you're using Empire Expanded, Tox Blades. It also ensures that Royals are adequately rewarding you for climbing the ranks of nobility. The customization UI allows the player to cycle between blades, details, grips, guards, hafts, heads, and rename their weapon of choice, so you can be as mature or as immature as you'd like. I swear to God, I'm a grown-ass man.
So she named your sword?
Lots of people name their swords.
Lots of cunts.
And that is it? If you install Persona Weapons Expanded, that's what you're getting. I could take a guess at some of the FAQs around this, so yes, you can recustomize your weapons as often as you'd like. The reason your weapon hasn't changed immediately when setting a new appearance is because the pawn you use to do it actually needs to interact with it to make the alteration. If you want to bond this weapon to someone else and you have a spare res serum, you could always kill the wielder, have someone else take the blade, and then bring them back. That might be a little extreme, mind you. I said that I'd also do my best to cover Rimworld combat mechanics in the Weapon Expanded videos, so today we'll have a quick look at melee blocking and how best to filter manhunting animals or raiders into your kill line. Firstly, you'll need to hold the door if you're going to have any chance of using melee beyond the initial raids in Rimworld. Colony wealth rapidly expands because of stocked resources, gear, and structures, and you'll soon be outnumbered in most combat encounters on your own tile. Whilst yes, you can rely on making enemies flee by downing or killing enough of them, if you get overwhelmed early into a fight, you'll be dead long before they turn tail. So, this isn't explaining how to make some super cheesy kill box that never fails, or how to exploit the AI to make simply awful pathfinding decisions through a maze of traps. It's simply the best way to hold a line in Rimworld. And unsurprisingly, it uses choke points. If you don't already know, pawns aren't allowed to stand on top of a sandbag or a barricade, so you can always use this to your advantage to stop enemies hugging high cover walls and leaning to shoot you around corners. There is also the matter of spacing logic in Rimworld, which forces pawns that are classed as in combat to care about who or what is on the same tile as them. It's why that massive conga line of raiders suddenly explodes into an enormous blob as soon as they make it nearer to your base. They can no longer occupy the same tile as they've gone from passive to active. What you'll want to do is combine these two ideas together. A fight forced into a doorway choke point allows you to use 3 melee pawns to dogpile the unlucky raider that's pushed forward into your blender, whilst keeping any of your ranged units behind them to provide additional firepower, and stopping the enemy doing the same with sandbags or barricades. This is especially effective with weapons that have a high stagger value or allow for a quick punch of burst damage. Just remember that with this kind of line, you're going to want a spare couple of melee fighters ready in the wings to replace anyone who's taking too many hits, or is potentially downed. The last thing you want is a raid pushing through a line like this and tying up your ranged in melee combat, with no decent position to fall back to. If you are using this style of defense, prepare at minimum a second line with which you can retreat and regroup, should things go poorly. And that is that. Whilst I usually fall on the side of using high walls with a long open corridor, doing my best to outrange enemies and slow their approach, there is definitely something to be said for a mountain base that can filter threats into a nightmare choke point, and hold out against literal hundreds with a well-trained dozen. It looks even better when you're swinging a hammer called Twat Basher around and stoving people's heads in. Thanks for watching, folks. If you have any mods you'd like to see a full breakdown for, or suggestions of mods you'd like to see covered, feel free to leave them in the comments. I might get around to them. I'll be back again soon with another Rimworld mod rundown. Wherever you are in the world, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Take care.